Welcome into the review. Welcome into the review. Yabba dabba doo. How's it going? I got the cube here. I got a lot to talk about. We got pineapple bay rum from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the Athena razor from Lambda Razors. Did I say that was the cube, right? The cube 2.0 from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And then we also will be using the Pure Bliss 28mm super high density synthetic knot from AP Shave Co. I'm going to be whipping that up in my Loomis Bros Shave Co 3D printed bowl. CK1, this is another one of my old sets, and so I tub load it. This brush, you really don't need a lot of lather. Andrew talks about that, or a lot of water. Andrew talks about that on the sales page. I've used this every single day since I've got it. So I have like 7 or 8 uses in with it. I received the Athena and the Lambda a week ago Thursday. So this will be, I think, my 7th day with those razors. The first day, the 23rd with the Lambdas, I used the Aries on the right side and the Athena on the left side, and I did 3 passes on each side with cleanups. About halfway through my first pass, I started getting the hang of the angles. The angles are different. And real quick, before I get going too much further, this is a passed around razor. I'm going to have links to all the channels that you'll be seeing here on the screen in the description below. Wally Pankowski has been passing this around. Wally Pancakes. Wally Pankowski. Pancakes. I'm going with pancakes. Wally Pancakes. As an inside joke, I slaughtered his name in a previous video. Courtesy of Wally. He purchased these. Wally is not connected with Lambda Razors. He purchased these razors, and he believes in them so much that he has been sending them around to content creators to experience and share their honest thoughts. Lambda Razors is out of Greece. They started business in 2019. Come in these beautiful handmade mahogany boxes. A few of the other guys have already gone over it, and so if you want to see more about that, I'm just going to mostly focus in on this razor here today, and then I will do an individual review of it prior to me being done with it. I have 2 weeks with the razors. And next will be the Aries, which is the open comb, and I have it right here. So this razor, by the time I was on the 3rd shave with it, I was absolutely loving it. It is a super duper treat. Thank you, Wally. I have wanted this razor for a long time now. The problem is with it, though, is you have to sign up for it. The guy who makes these in Greece has a day job. This is just his hobby. And so he makes them in batches. And if you don't get in on one of the batches and then on the email sign up, you don't get one. 2 different times I've signed up for the email, and both times I didn't have the money to purchase one. They're both just a little over $200 American, but that gets you the razor and that handmade box. The razor is made out of a nickel aluminum bronze alloy, so it's not brass. It's an alloy comprised of 3 different metals. Now, if you look at it, there's like literally no exposure at all. I have never seen a razor, I'll put photos up. I have never seen a razor with so little exposure my entire life. Ever in my entire wet shaving experience out of hundreds of razors, right? And I've never seen a razor with such a small blade gap be so efficient. While I start whipping up this lather, let's talk about that blade gap. The blade gap on this, of course, Luna's going to start in. Hold that thought, blade gap. The girls went to Crumble Cookie and to the mall. Dogs are out back. I should have known better. Dogs are inside. Blade gap. So the blade gap on this is almost next to nothing. In millimeters, it's 0.3 0.34 millimeters. In inches, that's 0.014 of an inch. Now, let's put that into context a little bit. And we'll start out with something that we all might be familiar with. That is the 1950s Super Speed Trio, the regular, the blue tip, and the red tip. The blue tip has a 0.020 blade gap. So the blade gap on this is smaller than the blue tip. This is 0.14. The blue tip is 0.20. The regular is 0.25. And the red tip is 0.30. So it's half the gap of a red tip. The Merkur 34C has a 50 millimeter compared to this 34 millimeter. And the Merkur 34C has the same blade gap in inches as the blue tip at 0.020. The Rex Envoy, 0.63 millimeter, that's 0.25. The Rockwell Plate 3, right? So on your 6S or 6C, they're both the same. The blade gap on the Rockwell Plate 3 is 0.48 millimeters or 0.019. Do I got that right? Seems like it's bigger. Anywho, the blade gap is almost non-existent. And again, I'll put photos up there. But I want you guys to understand that there is no exposure and no blade gap. This is easily just as efficient as my Envoy that I absolutely love. Absolutely love the Envoy. I've had the Envoy since they first came out. I never did buy the Ambassador. I have the console from Rex. Look at that beautiful lather. But one thing that a lot of people don't like about the Envoy, I do like it. I like all types of razors. I love positive feedback. I enjoy negative feedback. I enjoy neutral feedback. I like, razors with big gaps. I like razors with little gaps. I like green eggs and ham. Sam I am. But something that people, when they complain about the Envoy, there's two complaints. One, they say that the knurling is too sharp. I don't mind it. My wife says it's sharp. I've heard guys in the community say it's sharp. And then they say that it's that there's too much blade feel. There's no blade feel at all with this. And while the handle isn't quite as grippy because of these sand-blasted, whatever that is there, I actually get a good grip with this razor. Not as good as the Envoy. But my point is that this razor, with no blade gap, neutral or zero exposure, is just as efficient as my Envoy. Absolutely just as efficient as my Envoy. The Pure Bliss. So my Pure Bliss is a 28 millimeter. Listen to that feedback. I have a Lord Platinum first use in it. The Pure Bliss, you guys, is easily my new favorite knot from AP Shave Co. And it is the one new knot right now that I would highly recommend. Dollar for dollar, it is amazing. You can get one for half the cost of so many other brushes that are out there right now. I'll be doing a brush review of that in my brush review series this weekend. But if you're looking for a new knot, it is soft, it is dense, great flow, great retention. It is not a hog, even though looking at it, it's like a big knot. You think it's a hog. It gives up the lather freely. I'm very impressed with it, and I'm glad that I jumped on it and bought it. Over here to my left, I got my bowl for rinsing. It's my timeless bowl, actually. Let's do a spritz of water on the face. So this razor, and I got to kick off my razor review series. I got to. And I want to do that this weekend, but I really want to start it all off with this one because I want this to be my test dummy. That's the Bolmica from Amazon. I love it. I think it's a great value. It is efficient without blade feel. And I think you can't go wrong if you have that kind of money to spend. If you're looking for an heirloom quality piece that comes with an heirloom box, I mean, you treat this thing with a little TLC, it's going to last forever. I can't tell you how impressive that is, that I am with that box. I'd probably never use the box personally because I don't keep any of my razors in boxes. Even my vintage razors, I do not keep them in their original boxes. And that's because I don't, in my personal opinion, what I have seen, storing razors in boxes is bad for the box and it's bad for the razor. Over the course of 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, the razor is going to leave imprints on the box, right? So we're talking from a collector's standpoint, right? From a schnerd like myself who has drawers and boxes full of cases, right? See, I got a couple right here that I've been trying to fix, but of course, neither one of these are very good examples. I got cases for days. If you guys aren't familiar with all my restoration work, just trust me that, and I can't speak from experience with this and this felt, but when I buy an Athena, I will buy an Athena. When I buy an Athena, I will not store it in its box. I will set the box aside for a collector's piece, and then if I ever sell it, I have it, and then 100 years from now, it will be in pristine condition, and I'll still be alive thanks to like some kind of medical miracle because I'm going to live forever and I'm going to shave forever. Don't dash on my dreams, but guys. Hey, guess what? I'm using a soap. You want to talk about the soap real quick? It's pretty freaking straightforward and it's pretty freaking fantastic. So what we have is pineapple and PAA's West Indian herbs. PAA's Bay Rum. What you get is a mix of two kind of different fragrances. Like it says on the sales page, you get this juicy freshness, the smoothness, and then this masculine, distinct Bay Rum. It is perfect. I absolutely love it. The coconut and the coconut lime, that's also from PAA, and this pineapple Bay Rum are two Bay Rums that I reach for every summer. During the colder months, during the wet months, I don't use them a whole lot, and that's because I have all those other Bay Rums that I reach for. But this time of year, I reach for the pineapple Bay Rum. And in fact, I think did I put it away? It's behind you. Go ahead and my stuff. I love it so much that I have one of the original EDP bottles. And then I also decant it. It's good stuff, man. It really is. It's just imagine Doug's Bay Rum with the perfect pineapple. On the sales page, Doug has it written that it's play versus serious. And I love his little analogy, I guess he gives. He says, imagine Captain Hook babysitting his 5-year-old grandson. That's what this fragrance is. When I read that on the sales page, I can't help but visualize it. But it's amazing. It's this refreshing pineapple. The pineapple is detectable throughout the entire fragrance. It does kind of take a back seat from the top to the middle to the base. It's more forward, the pineapple is, but once you get into the dry down, it lingers. Emily only gives it a 3. When I first apply it, my wife gives it a 5. Her word is once it settles, which dries down, but her word is once it settles, she gives it a 7.5. So technically speaking, my wife gives it a 7.5. Let's do a cleanup right through here. I want to review all of Doug's Bay Rums between now and the 4th of July. With the exception of the holiday ones. There'll be Captain Smice that I still need to do. Classico, Coconut Bay. If you are all at all though intrigued by the Pure Bliss from AP Shave Co., buy it. You won't regret it. I want to buy a 24 millimeter. I bought the 26 because of the handle. He didn't have any of the black handles in a 24 or 26 millimeter handle. I bought the from the second spin, and I wanted this black handle, and he only had blues in the 24, 26, and being a schnerd, I wanted the black, and so I went with the 28, figuring that if I really love it, eventually I'll just get a 24 and a nicer handle, and that's exactly what I'm going to do at some point. And I absolutely love the Athena. It is a must in my den. If you can afford one, I think it is a must in your den, and that you won't regret it. Thank you, Wally, for sending that out to me. Look for my full review of that, you guys, in my new razor review series that I still need to kick off, and I'm going to kick it off with the Bulmica tomorrow. I'm recording it tomorrow. I swear, I am. And then starting tomorrow, I'm going to start shaving with the Aries. I only did a half a shave with it that first day when I got it on the 23rd. And then I'm going to start using that guy there, the Omega Elite. And I'm still really hoping and praying that, I'm not praying, I haven't prayed. That's more like a metaphor, a figure of speech. I'm dedicated, but I'm not so dedicated that I pray about my shave stuff. I do ask Santa. Is that the same thing? That's different, right? But I'm still hoping that once I start using it, that I will at least notice some differences. Even had my wife, when she came home from work, because she was at work earlier today when I opened the box and did the unboxing video. She wasn't here, and of course she came home. She's like, "Did you do your video? Did you open it?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she could tell just by the way I said "yeah." She's like, "Uh-oh, what was wrong?" So I had it drying, and by the time she had gotten home, it was dry enough. The alum block from PAA, it was dry enough for me to hand them to her, and so I gave her the rundown of the video and put a little spritz of water on it. Boop, boop, boop. Normally I'd put it under the sink real quick. Very little feedback for those who are curious. I use it for the astringent properties, but that's a damn fine shave. Damn fine shave. 2 passes with a cleanup on the hard spots. And yeah, that's going to be a damn fine shave. So I showed them to her, the G5C and the blue handle, if you've seen my unboxing video, and that Omega Elite. And she agrees without using it on the skin with soap. And when she didn't get to feel it either with soap in it in the hand like I do in that video. But she agrees that they're the same fibers. And I've actually had this conversation with her before regarding other brushes that I have that I believe also have the G5C. And I must have left it in the living room. Damn it. I never got my ducks in a row. Oh well. Still love me, right? I don't have to have my ducks in a row today because I'm wearing a Beaver's hat. Oh, splash. Right here. So when I do these, like, for the most part, I decant these just so I have a cheap little cologne, right? But also makes applying the aftershave so damn easy. And I get a nice heavy coating, and it makes the scent even stronger. Oh, yeah. Damn fine shave. I love this fragrance, you guys. Oh, it's so damn good. No clove in any of PAA's Bay Rums. It's the perfect bay rum for summer. Like the pineapple, I think I would, if you wanted a bay rum for summer, I would probably recommend the pineapple over the coconut, just because it's more refreshing. It's, you know, juicier, more lively, if you will. Unscented star jelly. Looking at the redness on my skin. I want to once again thank Wally. Seriously, Wally. Thank you for this opportunity to try out both razors.